All right, I have a quick update, and I decided to come live to do it because I do understand that a lot of you get upset when I cannot speak to everybody at the same time. You got to go to another platform, whether it's Periscope going to Facebook or Facebook going to YouTube or YouTubers going over there to the Facebookins. Everybody have a little bit of issue. So I don't want anybody to be upset. So I said, let me take a little piece of time, fire up this doohickey here, and go ahead and tell y'all what I do know now. First off, I want to say thanks to each and every one of you that have been sending in. Y'all are phenomenal. Last night, I asked you to send in $20 for Lady Paula Scarlett-Brown. And I'm going to catch those of you that are just clicking on this link and just watching the live. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it before I give you the update. But I also want to thank those of you that in the midst of that, you know what I'm going through as relates to these lawyers with these different things that I can't say too much about, but it's cost me over $14,000, and you have helped with quite a bit of that. Thank you for still sending in donations to help with that, because that is still ongoing. So let me just say that. Thank you for Lady Paula Brown, and also for what you're doing as relates to that. Now, I want to give you an update from yesterday. For those of you that do not know who Lady Paula Scarlett-Brown is, last year in August the 21st, I came live to tell you a story about this lady. She is the widow of like a well-known black bishop in the New York area. Well, he died one day. The next day, they're trying to put her up out the house that she's been living in for 20-something odd years and taking care of this man, wiping his dookie up. Listen to me. We talking about when this man yabba dabba do, she wipes it up, pick him up, double amputee, pick him up, taking places, permanently injured her back, left her career because that's what he said that God told him to tell her that she wanted. But she didn't know she wanted it yet, but she went read her Bible and found out that's what she wanted because that's what he wanted. You just got to go back and watch. But it was just horror darn bold how these people, church people, Pilgrim Church Assemblies. I don't know the name of the church. It's Pilgrim something other, but I know it's Pilgrim Assemblies. Hudson over all of the Pilgrim Assemblies. And somebody told me he was an archbishop. And then there must be another title you can buy. Because I don't understand how you are archbishop and you ain't done nothing to help this lady. But that's just me talking. And then you got Pastor Deborah Crow, who's over Pilgrim Church, you know, who they say worked her way up the ranks. She was basically Bishop Ward Brown's right-hand woman, excuse me. And so now she done got hold of the whole church and running every darn thing. Had people to call in yesterday to give us the absolute history of everybody in there involved. It was very emotional. Then Lady Brown, after she heard all the callers, she called in and we heard a little bit from her. I didn't want to press her too hard because, this is she ain't had time to mourn. Her husband is dead and gone. She been in courts back and forward, Overton during again. So I really didn't want to press her really, really hard. I just wanted, I'm glad she was on the phone, let her know that we love her. And then also, I flipped that thing on her because she wouldn't do no CashApp and stuff. I wanted nobody giving her no money. Do you know I found out, and they might get mad at me for telling this, but oh well. I found out that folk have been giving this woman checks and they have been sitting on a little brown thing just stacked up and she ain't cashed none of them. So if y'all sent her checks since the bishop died and you wonder why they didn't clear the account, because this woman don't want to take no money from nobody. But because I am who I am, my back daughter, and although I had you guys to give the money, and still you still sending, even while I'm sitting here, I'm sending notifications. I backdoored her and find out her Zelle. So once you Zelle, if you Zelle, it'll tell you once you do this transaction, it cannot be undone. So I can get all the money directly to her, so she can't send it back. This is what I don't understand, but I do understand because she said that she feel like this is a church situation, don't want nobody in it, da-da-da-da-da. But you heard her talking through her tears that she was crying and talking to us. She was crying, really crying for real and talking to us. This was so horrible. But anyway, so we get off the live last night. I see the donations start coming in. I said, okay, we got $1,000. Oh, we had $2,000. Oh, we had $3,000. I said, okay, this is good. I know $3,000 don't go real far. This thing is freezing up. What you done there, Nancy? $3,000. Go ahead and reboot it. $3,000 don't go that far. I'm not gonna be doing this every show. We got to find out what's wrong. This is getting up under my skin now. You think it's the cord? We got to find out. Come over it. But $3,000 don't go that far in New Yorkers. It just do not. I used to live there. It just do not. You get your little apartment about this big, about that big, $1,000 a day. For real, that'd be like $6,000 a month for that little tiny apartment about that big. But anyway, still, anything is just a show of love, and that we are backing her, and really we stepping in and doing what I feel like her community should have done, her entire community, whoever you are. Now, if you did something and you have helped her, I'm not talking to you. But if you have not helped her by either giving her money and you're in her community, doing something in your power towards her that is benevolent, or you have not opened up your mouth with the F and said to everybody that's around there, F you. Yeah. If you use your voice to say what needs to be said, in my darn opinion, you are part of the community that has failed her. So LRLers, because y'all like to send me and us all to hell, because we ain't too traditional and we're a little bit out the box. We're picking up and doing, once again, we've done this just so you guys can know. There have been single moms on this show. I mean, one time we had a few people back to back within a 30-day period, and I think some bishops, I think Carlton Pearson and even my mentor on. But counting what we gave these women that were hurting and just sowing into these people's life, in a matter of weeks, we gave them $15,000. So this platform just don't be talking about it. We really be putting our money where our mouth is and doing something about it. And people have been really helped and won cases behind this show's voice, and also my personal resources, referencing and resourcing and work that I've done on my own. So this is what happened on yesterday. So we get off the thing, the money's coming in. I said, okay, this is good. At least you better go get a cheeseburger or something, It's really good that we're doing this and this is happening. But my main thing on yesterday was, Pilgrim, please. Deborah, Debbie, please. Give this woman some more darn time. She just found out Friday, 5 p.m. You sent another thing on that Saturday. This is too darn much. She got this whole house. It's not a small house. She packing it up. Folk flying in to try to help her. Give her some more time. Now, granted, I think you should find a way to sell one of them properties. You suppose allegedly $30 to $50 million in property and all around the New Yorkers. I don't understand why in the whole hell and the heaven something can't be sold and give her a little piece of money. Or just if one of them paid off, let her stay in there. Just let her stay in there. Give a little piece of stipend until she passed. I hate to say it like that, but I'm saying her husband passed, take care of her until. And then we got all the people saying that this. Okay, I'm getting off. But anyway, so that was my main thing. She needs some time. She needs time to get up out the house. Well, today, the movers get to the house. Mind you, she didn't go to bed. I couldn't find out. She didn't go to bed until about 5-something, almost 6 o'clock this morning. So I was told. So I was already concerned, I had that funny feeling. I went and ate. I'm already 20 pounds bigger than what I need to be at 6'2". So I ain't got no business eating at night. And so I try not, but I went and said, forget it. I'm going to Cheesecake Factory. Bring me some of them chicken littles and some of that corn succotash and some mashed potatoes. I ain't eat all of it, but I was just nibbling until, I felt me come down like that, like a little drug. And so this is what I did. And I sat back and I went and prayed a little bit. How did I come speaking in tongues? Prayed a little bit and went to sleep. And I woke up this morning for devotion, of course, because I have devotion. Y'all out there that don't have prayer lives, you are not saved. You disconnected from God. And so I got this morning, done my devotion and stuff. I'm thinking, Lord, this really helped this woman. Then I started praying about my own mess, 'cause I got my own stuff going on. And so then about 1 o'clock. No, I called one of the family members, and I think I called her because you guys were sending emails, and I had the old email, and I said I need the new email where I can forward the email so the people talk directly to you, because they're telling me all this wonderful stuff, but you need to be hearing it. And she's like, Cassie, you doing all right? I said, yeah, she still was in that thing. So then later on, I'm just laying across my bed, minding my business as I live to do, and the phone rang. I said, okay, I wonder what Lady Brown calling me for. I said, hey, how you doing? I said, hey there. Most people know me. I say, hey there, how you doing? I answer phone some kind of crazy, some kind of way. And I said, hey there. And she said, hi. Because she told Sky. Her talking here on the show was not like last night. That's not when she's like really in her just. She won't really feeling like Lady Brown. But when she's her chipper self, her voice is like in soprano. I'm talking like LaShawn Pace, Karen Clark Sheard, soprano. Celine Dion, and Patti LaBelle, soprano. And so, hi, Reid, how are you doing? I said, I'm doing fine. I said, okay, you sound really excited. She said, oh my God, I have some great news. I almost sound like her. I have some great news. Oh God, it's so good. I'm tickling my own self sitting there. Reid, get yourself together. And long story short, because it was taking too long, like I'm taking too long to tell the story. She was taking too darn long. I said, well, you hurry up. And so I'm already side up and excited, but you come on with it. And she just telling me about Peter, James, and Paul, and everybody getting to the thing. She said, and when the movers came in. And when they got there, she was coming out to greet the movers. Well, like I told you guys, she has permanent back issues. And so because she had been trying to do what she ain't got no business doing in the house, picking up messes. When you quit, you're already injured from picking up this man. Sat down somewhere, but she won't do it. She continued to do it. And so then she would come out of the house, and the mover noticed that she was limping. And the mover is like, girl, what's wrong with you? Why is you limping through here like this here? And she was like, well, I'm just, I have a little pain. She's talking real, because she don't like, how them old saints, they so say they don't really shoot it to you straight. They be telling you the truth, but it ain't the whole truth. She said, I just have a little pain, Girl, tell that man you been picking up this bishop and default them putting you through to pure hell. So the mover must have been a prophet and had enough sense to know that she was telling a piece of the story. So the mover kept prodding until she just broke down and told the whole story. And when he told her story, the mover like, I can't believe this. He said, now wait a minute. Have you been to a doctor's? And she said, yeah, I've been to a doctor's. Did the doctor say that you are disabled? She didn't want to tell. Oh, Lord, I ain't know my life. She don't like to tell you stuff. Okay, somebody tell Lady Brown that you got to tell the whole story. We need to know. We want the help. We need to know the whole story. I almost missed her blessing being so saved. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Girl, you so saved. You look at that hat and that dress. That's saved. Like she ready to marry somebody. All right, so she didn't tell the story, and by this time the mover is moved. And he's trying to figure out what in the whole hell in the heaven is the church people? What? And so he says, now, you've been to the doctors. Have you got any kind of paperwork that prove that you got this back industry? I mean, back industry, I guess it is. Back injury. And she said, yes, I do have it. And so he asked her, so are you disabled? She said, well, I've been to the doctor. Lady Brown, you disabled or not? Yes, I am. You what? God, give me that piece of paper. So she had to go in the house and find the paper. Mind you, the house has been turned upside down because they're trying to move everything. I said, I'm going to be here 10 minutes. I done talked. How long? Can I get me up off this internet in 5 minutes? If I ain't finished the story, get me off in 5 minutes. I got something I got to do. It's date night. Thank you, Jesus. I'm about to leave here and go sin. So I'm putting y'all know good and well I'm just talking. Let me go ahead and clear that up. For that other YouTuber, the bald-head, dark-skinned YouTuber that used to be a bishop in the Kojic church, I ain't going to call his name, give me no free advertisement. But if I don't clarify that, that's going to be a whole show that I done said I'm going to fornicate. No, I ain't. Not doing no fornication. I sit here and talk crazy and cut up and laugh and stuff, but I am paper Bible saved. All right, get back to the lady Scarlett-Brown. She went in the house and she told me, I whispered a prayer because of your mother that had just died. And I found her obituary. She said, oh my God. I grabbed the obituary and said, Lord, I need help to find this paperwork. Well, Jesus heard a prayer. And the next thing she reached for was something that had all her paperwork in it from all of the doctor visits and stuff. And so she dashed out she ain't dashed because she limping because she hurting. She went back out there to the door and handed it to the man. And the man made a phone call. Long story short, they got that paperwork scanned and sent down there to the magistrate office. And come to find out, because she is a widow and she is disabled, she cannot be moved. Not right now, no way. I want y'all to start giving God multiple praises in the chat right now. Hand claps and the man that's running that emoji with the smoke behind him, because you run around the digital church right now giving God praise. I want you to put some musical notes because it's the digital organist in cyberspace that's playing some shouting music. Good God, we want to thank Him. Have I got some shouting music? I ain't got no shouting music. Oh, go get my speaker and what's the name? I got some shout music. We about to praise Him. We about to give Him a praise. Not only have we raised the thousands of dollars, but God done sent an angel in the form of a mover and done sent some information to over there, and it jumped from over there to there, and now all of a sudden, good God, my master. Over there to there. Hold on a minute. All of a sudden, good God, my master. Okay, hold on a minute. I'm having some technical difficulties, and I don't know how this is working. Okay, I got that fixed. Okay, so we about to praise Him. We about to give Him a praise. Wait a minute. Let me find my music. Woo. If you are sitting on this internet and you is not giving God no good praise, I got one question. And I got one statement I want to make, but let me see if I can find it. Is that it? God done did this miracle. You ought to praise Him right now. Everybody type that in there. You ought to praise Him right now. You ought to. Is y'all praising Him? Listen. How can you sit there and not give God the praise? He's been so good and opened doors for Lady Brown. Lady Brown, better is on the way for you. But there's one thing you got to do when better than ever is on the way. You want to praise Him It's y'all praising them. I don't see the hand claps. Oh, yes, I do. Let me see. She ain't got the move. She ain't got the move. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He's so good. Oh. Hallelujah. And y'all praise him. Oh, thank you, Jesus. All right, that's enough of that. All right, now what y'all need to do when y'all get off this here, go stream that. That's called You Ought to Praise Him right now. I wrote that about 10, 15, 20 years ago. And that's me and Aunt Boo singing on that. Ooh, and I'm praising too much. My neck is hurting. I shouldn't have did that. What is Ninja? Something wrong? Well, look. She ain't got to move right now. Now, what we do not know is how long this is going to last. Now, this is what I'm suggesting for those of you that are around her in her camp. Take this opportunity to appeal some stuff to a higher court. Take this opportunity to do this here. Give me every name of every board member and every last one of y'all that are watching me. I want you to research and find Pilgrim Church and call them and ask them to give this lady all the time she needs to get to her next destination. And they ought to break her off some money. And I'm not talking about $800 checks, Deborah, with the last one saying this is the last check. That's a whole nother story. I ain't gonna get into that. But this is what I'm saying. What's 8 times 6? 32? That was $3,200? 48? My math is that praise took all my thinking. Ooh, I ain't praised him like that in a long time. You see that one I was doing like that? All right. So, Lady Paula Scarlett-Brown don't have to move tomorrow. She has more time to get it all together. And thank you to the group of you guys that showed up at her house today. Well, right now. Consoling her, encouraging her, and helping her. The battle ain't over, but we needed to celebrate this victory because that's what our plea was last night. Give her some time. Continue to send in your donation because I'm about to Zelle it all over because it's all in the midst of my mess going on. I got to count who's what and who's what. That's too darn much. So go ahead and get it on in the next 10 minutes so I'll be done. Come on, Zelle it on over there to where she is. All right. That's the update. I'm supposed to be in and out. Peace. Goodbye.
I wanna be. Whoa, 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 yeah, up to the limit, 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 yeah.